welcome to the Psychic Side here on the A1R Psychic Radio Network, Moonstruck TV, and Enlightening TV. I'm John Cappello. I'm your host, and I'm delighted to be here today. So I want to go and get started. So we welcome you to call in to the program and get a reading, and I'll be happy to do what I can for you. But I always like to, start off the show by telling you a little bit about the travels I do, the things I encounter, and all of the stuff that comes about by being a psychic. I mean, you wouldn't. It's amazing the things that you come across. But I went to Oklahoma City, or Midwest City, Oklahoma, over the weekend, and it was a really good trip. We met a lot of new people at Nature's Treasure, and I'm always happy to be there. They're really good to me over there, and they've got a troll there that they call Fred. So when you are there, you have to say hello to Fred. Now, don't bring your dog because he might try to eat your dog. But he's about 4 feet tall, and he is from Norway, and then he's got all his little friends there too. And all these little trolls are handmade, but they're just so lifelike, and it's fun to see to see him, and I make a point to say hello to him when I go there. So I am happy to be back, and I wanted to tell you that last week. I'm kind of glad last week is over because I went to that Goatman's Bridge with the meetup group, and we had a few people show up, and in the terrible Texas heat right now. But we're surviving. but Goatman's Bridge is a place where there's been several tragedies, and it's not a pleasant place to go. But it's like I was saying last week, if you're going to develop your psychic abilities, it's part of your development to go and visit places and know what a haunted place feels like, and try to dwell a little bit on some of the tragedies that may have taken place there. So it's something that I think the people that were with me enjoyed, and it's sad, but it's also a period or a place for growth, because we need to understand what people go through, especially when people are considering taking their own lives. And so that energy, there's a real energy there, and so sad, but you use it as a positive for growth. Also, I want to mention to you that while I was in Oklahoma, I see myself behind me. I went to see this movie that I think is worth note, and it's Sound of Freedom. And once again, it's a movie that can tear you apart. I won't tell you anything about it. I almost walked out a couple of times, but I'm glad that I went to see it, and I think it's important. And I hope that if you get a chance, and you can, that you'll do so as well. So this week I go to Abilene, Texas. I'll be there for 3 days, and I'll be visiting my friends in that part of the state of Texas. Oh, and one thing I really have to mention to you before we go to our first caller is that my book, Mom, There's an Angel in the Kitchen, was awarded a gold medal by Mom's Choice Awards. And if you go to momschoice.com, you'll see all the great things that they recommend, whether it be the children's toys, children's, just different things for kids. And it's really a neat organization. A lot of their stuff is on Amazon, but they have their own website too. And it's really an honor because I have to read this to you. It says that Mom, There's an Angel in the Kitchen has been named among the best in family-friendly media, products, and services by the Mom's Choice Awards. So it is kind of a big deal, and I'm really happy about that. So I'm glad that I can share that with you today. And there's going to be some more press releases about it soon. And not that I'm going to brag about it, but it's something that I'm really, really happy about. So I'm going to go ahead and take our first caller, but I want to get back and I want to talk a little bit about astrology, and then I want to get into my other topic today that I want to discuss with you. So who is our caller again? Is it Jenny in Alabama. Jenny, are you there?
Yes,
Jenny,
I'm here.
well, thank you for joining us today. Um, I'm getting the feeling there's a lot of sadness around you. Have you been really sad lately?
Yeah,
Okay, has there been a loss in your family? Has there been a death in the family, or
yes,
maybe a parent? A parent? Was this a parent? A parent?
sibling.
Pardon me?
A sibling,
A, a
my
sibling?
brother.
Your brother? Okay, okay. But it just seems like, was he a wise man? Was he someone that you had a lot of respect for?
Yes.
Okay, because he's got a kind of a paternal energy about him, and I want you to know he's here. At least I feel his energy. He feels like there was illness around him. Was there a terrible illness around him?
Yes, he had a heart
Cancer.
attack.
Oh, but he didn't have cancer. Okay, he had a heart attack. What I'm picking up is that I don't know if you know or if he ever told you that he had jaw pain or pains in his throat. That's why I kind of thought it might have been cancer. But sometimes heart attacks affect people differently. But I just feel like he really. I don't feel like he was feeling well. That's my since that's the sensation that I'm getting. But I'll tell you, Jenny, he wants to thank you for asking him to come today. He says that he's doing okay. He says that he wants you to know that he's at peace. Now, did he leave a family?
I just want to make sure that he's okay and making sure that he knows that I love him and I miss him.
Yes, yes. So, did he leave a family? Did he have a wife and children, or a family of his own?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, he has a wife and 3 kids.
Okay, so he was a father, but he wasn't your father. But he, you know, I, he is at peace, and please take this the wrong way. He's sad that he left his family. Naturally, he didn't want to leave his family in that way. Now, also, did he have a pickup truck? Did he drive a truck?
A what?
A pickup truck? Did he have his own truck?
No.
Who had a pickup truck? Did you have okay.
My dad did.
Oh, your dad is also in spirit?
No, my dad had a truck, but he's still alive.
Oh, he's still alive? Okay, because your brother is talking about a pickup truck. I don't know why, but he is. I don't know. I get the impression that your brother was just a very kind individual. I feel like he was. I don't know. I feel like he was a strong man too. Was he unusually strong? Was he strong physically?
Yes, he was.
Okay. Okay. But he just wants to ask. He's asking me to impart to you to please let his family know that he's okay. He's upset about what happened, and because this feels fairly recent to me, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. So, is there anything else I can try to impart to you? Because he is talking about how he's watching over his kids, and we can do the whole program on your show on your brother. But if you'd like a further reading, please let me know. But he is talking about. You said he had 3 children. He's watching each of them individually, and he wants to remain a part of their lives. Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you. I appreciate the call. So, it's always just so sad when someone dies suddenly from a heart attack. It's something that is creeps up on people, and it's something that so many times it's unavoidable because we have uh, we get chest pains, or we get pains that we just don't consider to be heart pains, and sure enough, it's something that we can't overcome on our own. So we have Jolie in Houston that is on the line. So let's take her call, and then we'll get to some of our topics for today. So is that how you pronounce your name, Jolie? How do you pronounce your name? We lost her. Okay, all right. Well, I'm sure we'll. Hi, are you there, Jolie?
Yeah, I've been here. In the background, I could hear a phone ringing. I think that's what you heard hanging up.
Oh, okay. Well,
I've been
how do
here
you
the whole
pronounce
time.
it? Oh,
It's
good. That's
Jolie.
good. Jolie. Okay, I got it correct. Okay. So thank you for joining us today. Do you have a specific question for me?
I do not.
No, you do not. Okay. Okay. Well, do you have?
No.
Are you real close to your mother, or were you real close to a grandmother?
I wouldn't. Yes and no. In the early days, yes, probably my mother,
Okay.
not my grandmother.
Okay. Well, I feel like uh, is mother still here, or is she in spirit?
Spirit.
She's in spirit. Okay. Well, then I'm going to go ahead and take mother then because I feel like both of them are here. But since you said you weren't real close to grandmother, I won't. I'll try to avoid. Uh, well, whatever she says, I'll tell you. But I one of them is showing me some type of material. Did either one of them like to sew or make
Yes,
clothes or which one? Both of them?
my mother.
Your mother, okay, because that's what she's showing me. She's showing me some material. Now, did you take that up or did she show you how to do that?
She did
She did, okay.
at a
Because
very early age to make
very
clothes.
early age. So it's
Very
nowadays
early.
we don't make our own clothes like we did.
I know.
A we go to a store, but it just seems like your mother used to be really a craftsman. She used to have a lot of pride in what she did and working with materials and so I want you to know that she's here. Now also she's just saying that you've been working really hard lately. Have you been exhausted, a little more tired than usual?
Yes.
Okay. And she just says that she's trying to send you some healing energy. She says that she's doing okay. She says that she's at peace. She says that she's at rest, and she says that she's finally getting the rest that she always needed. And she said that I have no complaints here. So I don't see your mother as a big complainer, but she just said that just always something was going on, and when she was here, and so she just had to always, like the rest of us, I said, go one obstacle to the next. But she
Yeah.
says over here, everything is so much at peace, and everybody is friendly and good to her. So I'm glad that she came in today. Now, is your father still here? Or is he also in spirit?
He's also in spirit.
Okay. So he looks like he's been in spirit longer. Does that make sense?
But they're 3 months apart.
3 months apart. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
because it just seems like he's a little more quiet than mother. Is that right? Is he a little less talkative than mom?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, he's a little reserved and he's standing back a little bit, and so I don't know if you used to battle with him or not, but he just is watching over things, and he says that he's still enjoying your mother's cooking. I don't know. Did your dad like your mother's
Oh.
cooking? What?
Yeah. Sure.
Okay.
Yes,
Because
of
it looks
course.
like she was a good cook, maybe even been a good baker. He must have liked his
Yep.
dinner rolls. so
Yeah.
so he just seemed to be happy with mom, and I feel like they stayed together. So is there anything else, Jolene?
No, that's it. That was
Okay,
great.
well, thank you. I'll be in Houston at Indigo Moons. It's a little place off Blaylock
Oh,
in Houston. I'll be there on August 20th. So if you are
all
in the
right.
area, come by and see us. Okay? Will
Say
you
hello.
you
Okay.
you live in that area in
Yes.
Houston? You do? Oh, great,
Hmm.
great, great. Well, be sure to come by and remind me and just say hello. Okay?
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Bye bye. Okay. So we've got our callers out of the way. So I'm happy to help them. And so I hope I gave them some good information. So today I want to talk a little bit about the planet Uranus, okay, because we are going through the planets here. And I've been mainly doing the outer planets here lately. We've talked a lot about Pluto and we talked about Neptune and all these other things. But now we're going to talk about Uranus. And now Uranus is one of those malefic planets. Now, the difference between a malefic and a benefic planet is obvious. One's good and one's bad. So I can't say one's good and bad. I can say one is positive and one is negative. We don't like to use terms good and bad in astrology. We say positive or negative. But with Uranus, it's the planet of sudden events, basically, things that are unpredictable, eccentricity of genius, insanity, those sorts of things. And it has an 86-year rotation to it. So I just have to, I didn't calculate what 86 years ago was, but I'm not near it. So I'm near 86. But many people get what they call a Uranian return. And when they get that Uranian return, what that means, Uranus is at the same spot where it was when they were born. It's a kind of a time of enlightenment. It's a time of seeing the world differently, as long as you have your faculties, of course. But it's also a time of maybe making sudden changes in your perspective of life from what you had before. Many people, if they have been real hardcore with something that suddenly may be different, or they might want to change their appearance. A lot of times your Uranian transit, depending on what house it's in, can cause you to change your appearance, change your hair, change your wardrobe, even change the way you think about things. So it can change your fortunes, it can change your money, change your home. It's like that tornado that hits somebody's house, and one minute they're in their easy chair watching television, and the next minute they've lost everything, and they go, "What in the world happened?" And sometimes people just don't recover. It's that type of energy that you have to deal with when it comes to the Uranian energy. We all have sudden events in our life. Sometimes it could be an accident. Sometimes it's the lottery. Unfortunately, those good positive events don't appear to be as frequent as the negative ones. But it depends on your chart, depends on the energy that's surrounding you. And Uranian energy is fascinating. Uranus is the ruler of Aquarius, and Aquarius is the sign of a lot of things, but it's a sign of revolution. It's a sign of radical change and sudden change, and so the color for Uranus is electric blue. It's like that lightning bolt. Aquarius says the sign looking like it's a water bearer, but Aquarius is not a water sign at all. It's an air sign, and it's an intellectual sign. It's the sign of genius, and it's also the sign of friends, groups, and that's on the positive side. But it can also be the sign of estrangement, and so it's a manipulation. Sometimes Aquarians can be really bad about that. So that it's just something I wanted to share with you about the planet Uranus, and if you want, look where it is in your chart, and then look where it is residing right now as far as a transit is concerned, and you can kind of see if it's influencing you in any way, positively or negatively. So these little astrology lessons are something that you might not get other places, because so many people concentrate on the moon phases. They concentrate on eclipses and Mercury retrograde, things like that, which are all very, very important and good things to do. But I just like to be a little bit different, and I like to say things that you might not hear in other places. So I've been talking a little bit more about mediumship, because we are the psychic side. and we want to let people know about what my impressions are. I want people to know how mediumship affects me. Oh, by the way, before I forget, I meant to mention this at the top of the show that the East Texas Psychic Fair has invited me to go there on a regular basis. And so this is a fair that's in Tyler, Texas, which is really a special town in East Texas. So I'm going to try to have the owner of that fair on our program, and I'll let you know a little bit more about it in the coming weeks. But we're going to try to have them on our program as a guest, and this way you can kind of get to know some of the metaphysical community in Texas and other parts of the region that I travel, because I think it's a good thing. So I'm sorry to take that little turn, but I wanted to do that before I forgot, because you're going to be hearing me talk about the East Texas Psychic Fair in the next few weeks. So today I want to move a little bit further on my topic of the angels. I spoke about jinns about last week, and jinns are a unique group. They are not full-blown angels. They're not fully human, and they're not always the most positive. And I bring them up because I feel like I met some, and you may have too. These are people that you may have known a long time, and then suddenly flip on you. You know, if you've ever had anyone who was what you considered a close friend or a close family member, and then suddenly they just flipped, and they became someone you didn't know, and they might have even done things like stolen money from you, or betrayed you in some way that only someone who knew you very personally could do. You know, it's like they spent all these years winning your trust, and then at one critical moment, you didn't mean much to them, and so they did what they did. But that's kind of a jinn, and if you've ever seen the genie in the bottle, you kind of know why the jinns are put in the bottle, because they cause so much mischief. So jinns are also something that you might be able to see clairvoyantly when you're doing mediumship. Now, when you're talking about angels, it's not so simple to just say angels. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to talk about the hierarchy of angels. And there are three orders of angels, and I call them realms. So you have the lower realm, you have the middle realm, and then you have the higher realm of angels. To me, it's just easier to break it down that way. And for me, I've done a lot of work on angels because I intend to put it all in the book. And that book, it's hard to write a book, and it's hard even more to win awards. But I've won a lot of them, so I'm really proud of it. But it's not easy. Now, I have most of my mediumship book written. I just got to sit down and get it done, make it formalized. But there are different traditions when you talk about angels. You have an Islamic tradition, you have a Jewish tradition, and you have a Christian tradition. And all of them have something to offer. And they can all be right at the same time. So I'm choosing things primarily from the Christian tradition, but it doesn't mean that other traditions I won't talk about them, because especially if they're different, because they need to be addressed. And if your tradition is more in line with the Islamic or Jewish tradition, that's just fine, because whatever works for you is good. Because we're still learning about the angels. There's billions of them, and then there's these different hierarchies are fascinating to try to get a handle on, because the angels are even more diverse than human beings. Okay, and so I'm delighted to talk about them because they are so fascinating. The lower realm we're going to probably spend a program on each of the realms. But the lower realms is basically angels and archangels and principalities. And you know, in a way, I've been kind of surprised that they put archangels in the lower realm, but they do, and that's a show in itself, just the archangels. But angels, in and of itself, are guardian angels. They're angels of bliss. There's angels of luck. There's angels of that inspire us for music, for writing, for any of the anything creative that we do is angels. Angels are there. These are the angels that generally have us channel, and these are angels that we are the closest to us, and they're the ones that are there to swoop in to protect us on a regular basis. But that doesn't mean the other angels can't come in. But it's the lower realm of the lower the lowest of the angels are the ones that are with us the most. Okay, at least from my perspective. Now the other ones can be there as well, because there's nothing hard fast about it. But we'll get into that a little bit more next week. But in the lower realm, you have the angels, the archangels, and you have the principalities. And we're going to get into those next week. But we're going to get ready to wrap up the show today, because it goes so fast when we get to talking. And I want to be sure to thank my sponsor, Miracles of Joy, for all the good things they do to me for the program and for other people out there. So be sure to go to their Miracles of Joy online and use the promo code PSO223 to buy some stuff. And I'm glad that they're continuing to be our sponsor. Be sure to like me on Facebook. Now, contact me if you'd like to get a reading, because I'm happy to do a reading for you. And we're always there for you. You can go to my website, johncappello.com, and see a lot of good stuff, see the latest articles that I've written. And I'll be getting these new awards on there sooner or later, but you can find all the awards that I've won recently on my Facebook page. We've been in 5 competitions, and we won or placed in 4 of them. So that's a good batting average, they tell me. They say that's Hall of Fame average, so that's good. So I missed one, but I'll be back. I'll be back trying to go to bat for it next time. So thank you very much. See you later. Bye-bye.